Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host Jay. I'm here with my co-host Micah
Hey,
and Terrence.
what's up?
All right, guys, we are back. This is episode 252, The Burial. Look, if you have not seen this movie, I think we would all say that we would recommend that you pause right here, go watch The Burial. It's on Prime Video, Amazon Prime, for free for Prime members. So check that out. Obviously, this is the movie directed by Maggie Betts and starring Jamie Foxx, Tommy Lee Jones, Jurnee Smollett, and Alan Ruck. So look, this is sort of I think it's a very theatrical retelling, so to speak, but it is the retelling of attorney Willie Gary going after the Lowen Group on the behest of his client, Jeremiah Joseph O'Keefe, who was a funeral home owner, right? So this movie just focuses on that case, a little bit of another case in the very beginning, but focuses on that case. I'll go first. This is a really good movie. Like it's very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I think everyone was great in it. Tommy Lee Jones is getting real old. Like it is, like he's really up there. I mean, it's just kind of wild. Like, okay, like not much longer.
My wife said, "Is Tommy Lee Jones an old man makeup?" I said,
like Tommy Lee Jones is like 80 years old.
Nah, yo, that's life's makeup, my nigga. Like he is getting up there, but he still got it. Like he's still like a fun actor to watch. Look, Jamie Foxx is great in this. I think he is really, really great to watch. Jurnee Smollett is also great in this. The movie does a lot of things that I think are really positive ways of displaying this kind of story, and we'll kind of dig into those. But all in all, I thought The Burial was really good. It's really entertaining. I've actually watched it twice, and it kept my interest through both viewings pretty easily, actually. So I'm very interested to hear Micah's thoughts because Micah, your wife is in the legal profession, so she was kind of amped to see this.
"Yeah, I didn't know who this person was, but when she saw the trailer, she was like, "Oh yeah, this is a movie about Willie Gary. Yeah, I want to see this." I'm like, "You know who that is?" She's like, "Yeah, he's a very famous attorney." I'm like, "Okay, I believe you." Yeah, I really like this movie. I liked it. It's a feel good movie. It's a movie that where race plays a factor, but it's not like Mississippi Damned, right? But
Or Mississippi Burning.
Right. But it's also not like afraid to talk about race like that one movie where the Janelle Monáe movie where it's like, I'm gonna make you a slave, but I'm not gonna call you the N-word because that would be too much, right? Nah, like this movie feels real. It feels like a theatrical retelling, but it feels real, and it's a cool story about a very interesting person who seems to be, from all accounts, incredibly charismatic. He appears to be like a prosperity preacher, but I like Jamie Foxx's performance. I like everybody's performance in this. Everybody like is just doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
No complaints. My only complaint is that Dorian Missick has a beautiful wife, and he looks like Dorian Missick.
Like
He's a regular.
again.
He's a regular guy, and he's married to Simone Missick. Yeah, like
Yeah.
He won.
Is he funny?
I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he's a very charismatic individual. I don't know.
No, you know what the problem is? it's not even that like he's not a bad looking guy. He's just a regular guy, and it's like I think that's more offensive.
Yeah, that's
He's
just a regular nigga you see walking down the street.
Like, yo,
and like then you look at his wife, like, yeah, how the fuck?
Yeah.
Gives you hope.
I think we're just mad that he is the most regular looking dude, and that seems.
It's almost like this. It's the same with Courtney B. Vance and fucking
and
Angela Bassett. You'll be like, how, yo? And they've been married for like 30 years. They've been married for a while.
Yeah. Look, I ain't mad at him. Like
he knows what he looks like. He knows they know their place. That's what.
Right.
Yeah, and he's just
I'm not mad at them. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm jealous.
Every day he wakes up and he salutes himself in the mirror like we did it. like that. I would. Yeah. Look, I think it's just very, very good. Terrence, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I've actually watched it twice too. And both times I've sat through the whole thing, which is not something I usually do for these movies that we watch. Everybody was great. I don't think Tommy Lee Jones is acting anymore. I think that's like fair. I think it's just him. I think it's just him at this point, because he was just like, just wildly calm the entire movie. I'm like, you look like you're about to fall asleep in every scene you're in. Jamie Foxx is great. Like, it's good to see him in movies. Of course, this was filmed prior to his health scare, but no, he's great. Jurnee Smollett is becoming like one of those actors that. Like, she's good in everything she's in, right? The African dude, with the weird face. He what's his name? I don't know.
Mamoudou Athie.
Yeah, I've liked him in everything he's been in too.
Yeah.
He was in that Sommelier movie, right?
Yeah. And he was in this movie, this like science fiction movie called Black Box, that might be a good one to do.
He was
down the line. It's on I think it's on Prime also.
Yeah. I just realized he was Uncorked was the movie that we did with him, by the way.
Yeah.
I just realized he was co-lead on that movie, the Disney movie Elemental as well. I didn't realize that was him until the other day. And he's very good in that too. So
yeah, he's a good actor. Like, it's a good movie. It's like Michael said, it's a feel good movie. I didn't know who this nigga was either, so never heard of him. It's great. It's a fun movie, and it gives you the ending you want. You know what I'm saying?
It does. And look, I'll say this: I appreciated one big thing I appreciated about the movie is they knew exactly who the villain was. Right, because in this movie, it is very, very easy to make Jurnee Smollett's character a part of a group of villains when she's just a lawyer, right? And it would have been easy for us to hate that character, but that's not how they played it. And I thought that was smart. Like, she's as tough of as tough of an attorney as she is. Like, at no point do you go, I fucking can't stand her. Like, you're actually interested to see how she can come back at Willie Gary, right? Like, it's kind of interesting that they play it like that. And the courtroom scenes, which I'm a big fan of. Like, I love a courtroom drama movie. I just do. That's fucking easy. That's like shooting fish in a barrel for me. But they give you enough time there, but they don't spend too much time of like beating you down with legalese and all this other shit. Like, they don't even show like the closing arguments, right? Like, which I thought was a clever choice. But they know who the villain is, and they stick to that point. They're like, look, the black lawyers who defended this guy, like, they're just lawyers. Like, you don't hate them, even in their moments where you kind of get a behind the scenes of what they're talking about. You're like, yeah, I kind of agree with them, right? Like, you are even like, you're sympathetic to their perspective as well, but they're like, this is who the villain is, and they stick on that, and that's it. And I appreciated that, because black people are not the villains in this, so you don't need to villainize anybody just because they're on the other side of the case, which I appreciated. I thought that was smart. So, but yeah, I agree with you, by the way, about Jurnee Smollett. I think she is very quickly becoming like, oh, she's in this, she's gonna be good in it. And I mean, since what is it? Birds of Prey, Lovecraft Country. This like she kind of has hit on every single thing she's been in as of late. So
apparently, that show that was on what was it? Underground. She was.
Yeah, apparently she was really good in that too.
That was very good in that. That's on Tubi actually. I was gonna start watching that.
There you go.
She's very funny. Her character doesn't exist.
Oh, really? Is it totally?
They made her up for this movie. Yeah, they made her
that's
up
interesting.
For this movie.
Okay. Well, look, then to me, that's even. I mean, I wish it was a real character, but that's even better that they still didn't lean into making her a villain because they could have easily done that. Right. That's a good thing. So okay, cool. All right. Any more we want to talk about before just kind of going into it? Performance and everything. All right. Let's jump in. Okay, so the movie opens up with O'Keefe, was it Jeremiah O'Keefe, and he is very old, and he is he's celebrating his birthday. I assume it's for his 1000th birthday, and he's got all his grandkids around, and they're all like, "Oh, we love you, Grandpa," and he wants to like leave what everybody hopefully wants to do, which is some sort of legacy that they could be proud of for their families, right? Like that's what he wants to do. He owns, I believe it's 8 funeral homes and a funeral insurance company down in Mississippi, and he's that's what he wants to do, right? So then it cuts to Kissimmee, Florida. Isn't that like close to where your wife is from? Like Florida?
Kissimmee. Kissimmee is what is how it's pronounced, is what I'm told. And no, she is not near Kissimmee, Florida.
I thought it was Kill a Nigga, Florida, but like, you know.
I mean, you know, 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. So,
yikes! Don't go there. So we see a trial in Florida where Willie Gary is trying to. He's a public, or excuse me, he's a what is it? What the fuck are the type of cases he does? Personal injury lawyer, but he's like a really high profile personal injury lawyer, right? And so he's defending this guy, Clovis Tubbs, versus the Finch and Company Food Service. And basically one of their truck drivers hit his client, Clovis Tubbs, who was on a bike, right? And so he's giving his like closing statement, and he's going like it's church in this courtroom. He is working it, which immediately kind of I'll admit I was like I like the character, but then like they show him at church, and I'm like, is this nigga a scumbag? Like for real?
Wow, he's literally doing the same shit. He's doing the same shit in the pulpit as he's doing in the courtroom.
I know. Look, I can respect it in the courtroom because you're trying to sway people to get money. I respect that. Like in church, that's not what you're supposed to do. That's not what you're supposed to do.
They're literally doing the same thing.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to do
in both fucking.
But you're not supposed to be doing the other one.
I mean, you're supposed to give you 10% each week, right? That's what the church says.
Look, I wouldn't know.
Fucking income.
Just real quick, the pastor of the church that we go to, his lecture for this past Sunday was literally all about tithing. And it was just real creepy to me, man. Like,
it's time to change.
Well, this is why this is why you're supposed to tithe. Like,
why are you supposed to tithe?
Calm down, nigga. Nigga, I don't know. In money, you're not,
like, give me
you're
money.
Not getting money you ain't getting money out of it.
Is that the part where you did this? You closed the laptop.
Yeah.
And like, enough of this,
man. Nah, you ain't getting no money out of me. No.
Wow,
you doing all right? You in a suit on a Sunday morning? You all right? You doing all right? Get out of here.
That's fucking hilarious.
Probably like $1,000 suit too.
Probably. So
I don't like them niggas, yo. I really don't. I don't like them niggas. I don't. I get it. Like,
it's
gross.
You should. Can you chat Can you chat during your
Yes, you can. You can. You can chat and you can give money.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure you can fucking cash app them niggas.
Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat them live while they streaming. Like, yeah, they give you plenty of ways to give.
Dude, that would be
Venmo,
fucking hilarious.
Cash App,
Like
Zelle.
I'm waiting for like the church where it's like, Jesus, gang, Jesus, gang. Son of God.
Fuck it.
Let's just get money.
Don't they have ATMs in churches now?
Absolutely, they do. They do.
Yeah.
That's one of the most disgusting things in the world.
Look,
Like, that's disgusting. Like, that's gross.
like just run your card. Like, why do you have an ATM? Just run my card. Just run it. It's just like they do here. They just bring the fucking thing to your table. Like they don't take your card. They just bring the shit to your table. Just insert it, my nigga, right now, and press the button for what? How much for service? How much for service? Yeah. No, not a square. The fucking machine. They're just like the full machine. There you go.
Yeah.
Insert that shit.
Yeah, like you at a restaurant or some shit.
No, that's everywhere. That's everywhere. That's what restaurants do. They don't fuck around here. Give us our money right now. So he's defending Clovis Tubbs, and he does this really great rhetorical flourish, right? So and again, I'm here for it because I love shit like that. He's like, oh look, my client's a piece of shit. He's a drunkard. Like he toe up from the flow up. He's like he's going through the whole thing, and everybody's like, oh shit. Like they're all pulled in. They're all involved, right? Like, and Jamie Foxx is like he's in his bag, right? Like this is where he's so good in everything. And so then he gives this big rhetorical flourish that, my client wanted to kill himself and all this other stuff. And then he goes, but my client had the green light and this company fucking hit him. Right. And he was like, look, we're only asking for a small $45 million or whatever the fuck it was. Like it was a crazy amount of money. And guess what? He won. And so this was him, defending this case, but this was Tommy Lee Jones's character being able to see Willie Gary for the first time, right? Because he's been taken down to see this case by his lawyer Hal Dawkins, right? So yeah, look, it's a smart move. It's a great opening. For the movie, and so you can really get a sense of the type of character that Willie Gary is. So from there we start to kind of backtrack in the story a little bit. We do get to see Jeremiah O'Keefe meet with Willie Gary, and he's explaining his case. Him and Hal Dawkins are explaining why he's pissed off and why he wants to sue the Lowen Group. And he's like, this is not a personal injury case. This is not a Willie Gray case. And he's doing the thing that his wife tells him not to do. It's don't talk about yourself in the third person, which is hilarious. But I immediately, I'm glad I was wrong because I didn't know anything about Willie Gary. I just assumed this guy was a charlatan, right off the bat. I liked the rhetorical flourish and stuff in the beginning of the case, but I just was oh, this guy ain't shit. He's a scam artist. Nah, he just a country nigga who's really good at this. That's all it is. And then we of course got Simone Messick's husband there, being all regular and shit, making us all feel sad. But yeah, he's weirdly Willie's hype man. He's this is not a Willie Gray case. Nah, it ain't a Willie Gray case. He's just the dude from Cypress Hill, just repeating whatever Willie Gray says, half the sentence and just coming back with it, which is just hilarious. So he explains, O'Keefe explains the reason why he's suing the Lowen Group, which is he's fell on hard times. He can't kind of keep his business open because he owes all these fees or what have you, and he doesn't have enough money in his business account. So the state of Mississippi is temporarily shutting down his businesses, so he can't, perform funeral services. And the problem is he then gets an offer through his other lawyer, played by Alan Ruck, that this guy Lowen of the Lowen Group is Raymond Lowen is offering to buy his funeral homes for fair market value to kind of give him to inject some cash so that he can like kind of continue. He then him and his lawyers, they go and meet Lowen in Canada to talk about this deal. But before we even get there, we meet Mike Allred, played by Alan Ruck, and you immediately get this bigoted vibe from him because his face, as someone says later on in the movie, which is wild because I like Alan Ruck. I've always liked Alan Ruck, but the second they said that and the way he plays his character, I'm like, yeah, I see it. Like, I don't care for the way your face looks. Like, it bothers me. Like,
yeah, it's like
that character in a couple of movies. He was that character in Speed. He just wasn't old. Remember, he was in Speed. He was like the dickhead in Speed.
Yeah, but he wasn't a bigot. But he wasn't
a bigot, but like he was kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, I mean, I
bigot,
could definitely
douchebag, same thing. Whatever. They're all racist.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's not like Walton Goggins, right? Like, he don't have the Walton Goggins thing where it's like Walton Goggins is a fucking racist, yo. Like, I don't care what anybody says. He's a phenomenal actor because he's got you all fooled. He's a fucking racist.
Walton Goggins is a wild dude, yo. So when Mike Allred actually meets Hal Dawkins, and Hal is young, right? But he's also very black. And he meets him, and it is very obvious to Hal quite immediately that Mike is a fucking racist. And it's funny because he doesn't need to say anything racist. He just needs to say, like, he says, like, oh, good for you, son. And, like, you could see the look on Hal's face. And, like, to me, I was like, he could have just called him a nigger and just got it over with at that point. Like, it was so obvious in the way Ruck says it, the way Hal takes it. Like, it's like sometimes you don't need to hit people over the head with a hammer. Like, that light touch of, like, you see it. Like, maybe white people didn't see it, but I know every black person was like, I don't like this nigga. like from the jump, like, not a fan at all. So the three of them head up to Canada.
And he's got black butlers, man. He's got like servants also.
Well, no, they're not butlers. It's like a gentleman's club. Like, that's where they're drinking.
Still black.
They're all black. No, but I'm just saying they don't like work for him. They're just at this gentleman's club. But it's Mississippi, so of course.
Look, the way Alan Ruck plays his character, I had to ask my wife what year this took place because I was like, yo,
because for a while you can't tell. You quite literally.
Yeah, I was like, yo, is this 1955? Right? Because it's like the combination of like them being in the South, right, and everything in the South hasn't really advanced, right, in terms of like anything.
The South is America's like sepia toned Mexico, like in a lot of ways. You're like,
like everything about it just seems kind of like antebellum-ish. You know what I mean? Like,
sprinkle some antebellum on there, yeah.
Right, and like there are people out there who still act like Alan Ruck's character. And when she said this takes place in 1995, I said, what? Because I could have sworn it took place in like 1955. Like, the fuck out of here, yo.
Like, the only reason why you know is like, oh, that boat is way too new. Like, hold on a second.
Right. I was like, wait, why is In Vogue playing? I was about to get mad. I was like, yo, I hate when they play somewhat contemporary music in period pieces. It doesn't make sense. And then she was like, yo, it takes place in 1995.
That Madam C.J. Walker movie had like trap
music. I killed it. I turned it off. I couldn't finish that movie. Yo. Yeah, you Madam C.J. Walker, and y'all got Salt and Pepper playing, yo. Like, what? Get out of here.
Like, why are you making makeup to Shoop? This doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, this shit is bothersome to me. Yeah, so they get to Canada. They meet Raymond Len, and he really comes off as a real piece of shit. Played by Bill Camp, who is always good. And he is a person that is very easy to hate in this movie. He is the absolute villain of the film. And so he decides that he is going to be way too fucking honest because that's what rich people do because they don't give a fuck. He's like, look, a lot of old people are fitting to die in the United States in the next couple of years. So I'm just buying up all of these funeral homes and I'm getting paid. There's he was like, there's a 60% increase in the amount of deaths, the death rate nationwide over the next couple of years. So he's basically like, I'm buying all of this because it's like the gold mine of death. Look, that's a scumbag thing to say. It's not a bad business choice, I have to say. Like,
that's why he's a fucking billionaire.
Right,
among other things.
Right. Well, inheritance, of course. But yeah, like he says it, and everybody is just like, nigga, what? Like, are you fucking serious? And then he's like, I'm kidding. No, but for real. Like, no. I really care about my customers. Oh, you don't. No, you don't. Like, you absolutely fucking don't. But he's like, look, I'll buy 3 of your funeral homes at fair market value, and you get to keep the other 5. And so then O'Keefe is like, all right, that's cool, but you can't sell burial insurance in Mississippi. And Lowen's like, let me pretend like I give a fuck. You're driving a hard bargain, old man. And then he's like, all right, you won. You tricked the billionaire. You outsmarted me. Which I'm like, come on, man. How you going to fall for that? Like, this nigga don't believe in you. Knock it off. So they get a handshake deal, and fast forward like 2 months, and Lowen has not signed his portion of the deal. Just kind of letting the clock run out and letting O'Keefe's business basically shrivel up and die because he's no longer allowed to do any business in Mississippi because of the financial issues that he's having. So he's just basically trying to bleed him out until he runs out of business. In this moment, though, between Hal and Mike Allred, Mike calls Hal Son again. And look, I enjoyed that moment because Hal was like, do me a favor. I'm not your son. And it's funny because he's a lot bigger than Alan Ruck. Like, he could have just pushed you over that fucking couch. But he didn't. He was very nice about it. And he was like, of course, Mike Allred does what every white guy does in that kind of situation. Whoa. Okay.
Like, whoa,
you're being
a down there now. Like, nigga, I'm about to throw you through this fucking window.
Like, yo. Like, I'm pretty sure I could uppercut you with little to no effort. Like, please knock it off. Like, every black man has dealt with that. Like, or I will say every black person, but especially black men have dealt with that. Like, that son or like type of shit, or like way too familiar white people talking shit, where you're just like, I don't want to have to keep calling this shit out all the time because then it makes me seem angry and like the asshole when you're being the asshole. And Alan Ruck's response is the perfect white guy response. Whoa, okay, all right, let's everybody just calm down. Like, no, you're being offensive. Why am I calming down? You're the dick.
Have you ever been called son by a white man?
I had somebody say boy to me once. Yeah, at work. Yeah. Nah, that shit didn't fly. I called that shit out immediately. I was like, yo, I'm not a boy, I'm a man. Like, knock that shit off. And it was the same reaction. Oh man, goddamn, I'm 40. No, it was a very similar reaction. Whoa, I didn't mean that. Okay, all right. Well, now
don't do it again.
Yeah, now you know. Like
the closest I this isn't even my story. This is Billy's story. Billy, when we worked at GameStop. She said that the district manager at GameStop, Larry, I think was his name.
Larry Minton. Larry Minton.
Yeah, Larry Minton. Yeah, fuck him. He said that he would use he didn't know that you couldn't use the word colored.
Really, Larry? How old is this person?
Really, Larry?
He was probably in his like mid to late 40s.
Knock it off.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how old he was. He could have been like 35 to 57. I don't know.
Yeah.
My first question is, how old are you? I'm 40. Shut the fuck up. You absolutely know that's not acceptable, yo. If you're over the age of 85, I give you a pass. Maybe. Nah, yo. No. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know. And where are you from, yo? Where are you from? Did you just fall?
I don't know where.
Florida?
No, he was from Florida.
Oh, well,
you want to know how I know he was from
what
Florida?
He was saying.
Because he moved back to his home state when I got my I got another job and I worked with that motherfucker, and he was in Florida, and I had to call him up for certain things in Florida, and that was his home state. And I'm like, you don't remember me, do you? Like, oh yeah, you fired me.
You all look alike.
Yeah, clearly, if he's calling us colored, but yeah, he's from Florida.
No.
Yeah,
very
so people think like that, yo.
So wait,
and
did he call Billy colored?
No, from what I remember, no. From what I remember, no. I think he asked Billy if or Billy heard him say it, and she kind of.
I think it was Billy, and I believe Devin was there also. I think it was at the gallery.
Yeah, it was definitely at the gallery.
No, I'm gonna uppercut him in the stomach. Yo. Like, you deserve to be doubled over for some fucking bullshit like that. Get out of here with that. No, yo, knock it the fuck off. I'm gonna try to hurt you, yo, for real. Like that, yo, that's a ridiculous.
Colored, yo.
That's a record scratch,
okay?
man.
Is it okay, guys?
No, I didn't know we couldn't call each other colored. That's kind of how we sounded too. That's kind of how. I didn't know you couldn't call black people colored anymore. What the fuck year is this, my nigga? Like, what is wrong with you?
What the fuck, yo?
That's an unacceptable fact, yo. Like, no.
Yo, this ain't like the 90s when like
it was like 2008.
Right. Like the 90s, like everybody called everybody everything, right? Like I'm not saying it was right. But
it happened.
I miss those times sometimes. But but yo, it was well into the new millennium, nigga. Like you don't call
that's unacceptable, yeah. That's unacceptable.
What the fuck?
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of here. So yeah, he calls him out. I appreciated that. Tommy Lee Jones is like, oh, enough of that. Let's relax. Relax. And so they have to quickly get over that shit. So then we get the whole thing where basically O'Keefe is like, how do you really think that this guy is trying to fucking bleed me? And like basically let me get destroyed, and then so he could come in and buy up my properties. And it's been like 2 months since they had that meeting in Canada. So he's like, you know what? We're gonna sue him. Like, fuck this guy. Like, let's do it. O'Keefe tells his wife, and she's like, old men don't sue. And he's like, the fuck does my age have to do with it? Like, this guy tried to fuck with my family. Right? And this would be like the beginning of a John Wick movie, but Tommy Lee Jones is just old, so they just do paperwork. So they take the lawsuit to the local courthouse. This woman there who gets it, the clerk, and she's like, ooh, who do you think's gonna win? The guy's like, what? This is a fucking lawsuit. Like, what kind of shit are y'all running down here? Like, you think they're gonna win? It's not a guess. So then we see Hal coming to see O'Keefe late at night, and he's like, hey, look, check out this VHS tape. And he's like, here's a clip from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous that did an expose on Willie Gary. And he's like, this guy, I think, could run your case, right? And look, Willie Gary seems ridiculous. he's got a plane that the name of the plane is Wings of Justice. Like, what are we doing? He's dressed like a Steve Harvey, like Steve Harvey's like protege or some shit. Like, he's dressed ridiculous. He's the son of a sharecropper. He used to work in the sugarcane fields. That comes up a lot. But now he is him and his wife are wearing matching velour sweatsuits as they are very, very wealthy. Because he is taking on these big companies and getting a lot of money and doing and he's like a very flashy guy. So I want to stop here for a second. One, I want to take a quick break, pay some bills, and then I want to come back. I want to talk about sort of the weirdness of working in a sugarcane field and being very open about that sort of poor history to then rising to where he is. Like, because he's a fascinating character for that. This idea that Willie Gary is what I assume is like a multimillionaire even at this point. Like, is it hypocritical that this guy like goes after these big companies because they fuck over little people, only to turn out to like weirdly promote the American dream, even though that was like also why his dad was a sharecropper? Like, does that feel weird to you? Like, does it feel slightly hypocritical or what? Did you guys even think about that?
It feels like capital C conservative, right? Like his story is the pull yourself up by your bootstraps story, right? He's to quote Jamie Foxx in another movie, he's that one nigga in 10,000 or whatever the number was. But like expand that number to, something
Hundreds of millions.
Right. I don't think it's hypocritical. I think it's quite frankly, I think it's what this country's kind of built on, right? Like
Right.
The idea that you can come from nothing and just work hard, and if you make it, you got to take advantage of other people, right? Like that's capitalism, right? Like,
Yeah, destroy the little man.
right. Like everyone, and look, he's trying to, he can justify it by saying that he's going after big companies or whatever, which I don't have a problem with. Like, go after big companies. Big companies need to be brought. But at the same time, like, you're taking down big companies and you're supporting other big companies. Like, I get it though. I get it. Right. Like, I'm not giving up the stuff that I like just because a major corporation, is funding it or whatever. But you got to be a good person, right? Like, at this point, you just have to be a good person. And the problem now in society, in my opinion, is that we don't know how to be good people. This technology has brought us together and separated us at the same time. Right. And this pandemic us gave a shot in the arm. And people don't have empathy. Like you say what you want about this guy. I believe that he believes he's helping people, right? And he is. But like, now people don't do that. People don't have empathy, right? Like, even as it's portrayed in this movie, I don't deal with white people, right? But he ended up getting to know this guy as a well, I mean, I get it, but he ended up getting to know this guy and is like, yo, I actually really want to help him. I really want to help him. And people don't want that. People don't want to evolve. They just want to be the Willie Gary from the beginning of the movie, and they don't want to be the Willie Gary at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I just find it. I don't disagree with that. Like, I find it deeply fascinating that here is a guy with a private like 737 jet and all these millions of dollars and everything else. But he always keeps, and I don't think I agree. I don't think it's hypocritical. I was just sort of sitting it out there to see your thoughts on it. But I just find it fascinating that with all of his wealth, and it's on Front Street with him. He's not, I'm just a humble lawyer. Like, that's not who he is, right? He's like, no, motherfucker. Like, he calls himself a giant killer, right? Because he's gone after, in one case, is against Anheuser-Busch and Disney, right? Like, so he's not a shy person or trying to pretend to keep it low. But with all of that, he still holds on so deeply to the idea that he was a kid who worked in the sugarcane fields with his dad who was a sharecropper. Like, he says that story like 3 or 4 times in the movie. It is a part of who he is. But at the same time, like, there's this other major aspect to, like, I made it. Here's the American dream. Like, yeah, I think it'd be interesting to hear his thoughts on, like, how he sees himself in that world. Like, I just find that kind of deeply fascinating. So,
yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, I mean, it is capitalism, but like, he literally started from the bottom, right?
Yeah, right.
He started from so
he didn't inherit this shit.
Yeah, he got all of it, and it, like you said, he is in his own way helping the little guy. Like, he's going after big corporations. Like, he got that dude $40-something million. It's like, he was just getting hit by a bus when he was trying to kill himself, right?
Right.
I don't know what his cut is, but that motherfucker's set for life, however long it may be.
Yeah.
Because, again, he tried to kill himself. So who knows?
Suddenly he got over.
Technically, he did help that guy financially. So yeah, I think he's helping the little guy and like taking down the big corporations, and in the process, he's like balling out of control, like a nigga, because that's what we do, right?
That's what we do.
Like, we come from nothing and we got to just flaunt what the fuck we got, because that's why rappers do the same shit. Like, we get the most gaudy, egregious shit that you don't fucking need because you came from nothing and you want to show how much wealth you have. I don't know what he's like now. Is he still alive? Is this guy still?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's 76.
He's in the mid-credit. Okay. He's in the mid-credit scene in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, right at the very end. Yeah. So I don't know how he is now. Again, I didn't know who the fuck he was. Maybe he's a little bit more subdued. But yeah, that's what you do, man. Like, I don't want niggas to know how much money I got. Period. And plus, it's from the South, yo. Come on. He was a sharecropper in the sugar canes. Meat. That's what he kept saying.
And look, man, that's
like 8 years old. That's crazy. But yeah, I get it.
And look, I get it, because, like, guess what? We all do it. We all do it. Absolutely. Right? Like, I didn't, my parents didn't want me playing video games, to the point where my father spiked my Nintendo 64 in the ground because he thought it was going to do something and didn't realize the Nintendo makes a hell of a product. They didn't want me to have it. And now look at me. I'm 40 years old. I gotta have all of them. I'm not using all of them, right? But like, if you're deprived of something, you kind of want it.
Yeah, you want it.
So
it's like it's the idea of the black rose that grows in the ghetto, right? Like, you squeeze people so much that the people who do in fact make it out, they don't just barely make it out. They make it out in huge ways, and you're like, where the fuck did that come from? Yeah, that's where you get your fucking basketball stars who come from like major poverty, or your rappers or musicians and stuff that come from major poverty. And you're like, where the fuck are these people coming from? Or academics who come from shit like that. And it's like, yeah, because they are from marginalized or pushed down people and largely forgotten about. And when they make it, they super fucking make it. The Williams sisters are a prime example of that, right? Like, nobody gave a fuck about that family except for their parents, who were like, no, we're not going to let our kids just go to shit. Like, we're just not going to let that happen. Like, we're just going to push. And look, it's something you got to respect. Yeah, look, I know, the cool thing is to, and I'm perfectly fine with people doing it. The cool thing is to just bag on like insane capitalism, and it is a thing to bag on, but people often forget that is literally the only way black people can make it in the U.S.
What I don't like is I watch a lot of like video essayists on YouTube, And some of them talk about capitalism. Like capitalism is bad. And I'll tell you why it's bad right after this message from our sponsor.
Right after
like,
this.
what the fuck, yo? Like, yo, what? Like, what are you doing?
Well,
Squarespace.
Sometimes you have to use capitalism to take it down.
That's their excuse. That's their excuse. Like, all right, yo.
$29.99 a month at a time. Like okay.
You're not a fucking splinter cell.
You literally are able to make a living on YouTube.
Right.
Like, come on, dog.
Yeah. That shit ain't easy. Like, it's not easy.
It's a lot of hard work, but like at the same time, like you're not no.
Like don't
ad revenue is what gets you fucking money on YouTube.
Right. Like don't act like just don't be holier than thou. That's all.
Yeah.
Just don't be holier than thou.
That's it.
And that's the entire internet in a nutshell. Everybody is holier than thou. Everybody thinks they're better than everyone else.
Yeah. And look, that's why you will never hear me say, like, I think all of capitalism should go away or I think it's a purely evil thing. No. I'm trying to get paid too. I'm
trying to win the game too, yo. I will play any game you want to play. I'll play any game you want to play. But we in this game right now. If we all agree to change the rules, that's fine. But if you just because you want to change the rules, I'm out here playing baseball and you trying to score touchdowns. No, nigga. like I'm playing the game I'm in.
Right. Yeah, like why are you still trying to hit home runs? Because we have bats. What the fuck are you talking about? like, what are you doing? Like, if I score this touchdown, shit's gonna change. It's not though. It's not. It's not. You're not even in the right stadium. Go sit down. So yeah, look. I personally think there's nothing wrong with getting capitalism way under control or getting rid of it, frankly, because in order for there to be winners, there has to be losers. And I fundamentally don't agree that life should be about trying to destroy your fellow man for an extra couple of nickels. At the same time, you got to go to war with the army that you have, right? And like sitting on your laurels and going, it should change is going to get you starved. Okay, like that's not going to help you. So like you got to go to work. You got to try to earn money.
Like, capitalism is fine, but like it's what people do with it.
Yeah, people try to destroy each other.
It's what happens with like you get something, you get a concept, and then it works. Right, it works very well for a lot of people, but those people become just absolute scumbags.
Yeah,
and they just want as much money as you can possibly get, and you don't need that much money. There should be rules in place where you shouldn't. So what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, there should be rules in place where you shouldn't. Like Jeff Bezos should not be Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk should not be worth hundreds of billions of dollars. That's just silly.
It's a number that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, that's silly.
Yeah.
Like if you do the math, that nigga makes like $100 million a day. It's like $300 million a day.
Like why though? Like
what the fuck is that, dude?
Like
that's
why?
Crazy.
I've always said $1 billion. Like, look, if you want to earn $1 billion, that's fine. Just don't fuck people over. But like, which is almost nigh impossible to do.
Right, which is impossible.
Right, you have to fuck people over. Like that's just the way it would go.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, $1 billion is more money than anything costs. You don't need what cost $1 billion, yo? $1 billion, like nothing. There's no real estate that costs $1 billion. Like a house. I mean, yeah, sure. I'm sure you could find some giant series of skyscrapers that cost billions of dollars, I guess. But maybe actually, now that I think about it, probably not. There's not really any real estate that costs that. There's no car that costs that. There's no material item that costs that. So you don't need $1 billion. It's ridiculous. How much is that thing? Oh, it's $1 billion? Well, here you go. Oh, what the fuck? You have $160 billion. What do you need the other $159 billion for? It's silly. There's nothing to buy. You hit you leveled up and you won capitalism. All right, that's enough. You got to level 99. We're done here. Like, they should just tax your ass to the fucking hilt after that.
You should get taxed like 80%
95%, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, yo, like what the fuck are you gonna do?
Again, I just did the quick, like, crude math. Like, if what's his name was like 130 something $billion is what he's worth. Yeah, that's $372 million a day.
Like that doesn't like
That's
why?
silly.
But
Ridiculous.
Fucking silly, dude.
Those two guys exist in America, and people are like, man, I hope I can find food tonight. That's insane.
Yeah, that's disgusting, dude.
Yeah. Again, I don't understand.
Like, if they paid their taxes, like,
you just paid your taxes. People leave you alone. They just leave you alone. Guess what? You'd only have $100 billion. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I would be like that. That's my thing. I would just be that one billionaire that other billionaires hated. I'd be like, yeah, of course I pay my taxes. Guess what? They leave me the fuck alone. This isn't hard. The fact that you don't is the reason why people are like, fuck that guy. Dude, you can fly rockets to the moon. They'd leave you alone if you just paid your taxes. They leave you alone. Well, Jeff Bezos is a piece of shit. Well, did he pay his taxes? Yeah, all right, well, whatever. Who gives a fuck? Like, next question. Like, it doesn't matter. But their greed is unbelievable. But that's at the core of what this movie is actually about. Is this guy's Raymond Len's greed is unbelievable at the end. You're like,
yeah,
really? Really? This is who you are as a human being? It's bizarre. But, you know, that's what this shit does to you. So when Hal has to, like, quite literally, like, he says, you're going to really make me spell this out for you, to O'Keefe. He's like, you can't keep Mike Allred on as your lead lawyer, because we're likely going to get a black jury and a black judge, and Mike Allred is the walking personification of racism, basically. Southern, like, good old boy fucking bullshit. And so I think O'Keefe kind of realizes that. He's like, yeah, you right. So they basically cut back to them trying to, like, convince Willie Gary to take the case. And he's like, no, one, it's not enough money. We haven't lost a case in 12 years. We like to take cases we can win. Which is a kind of I have to admit, a kind of a fucked up perspective when it comes to law, but that's me personally. I'm not a multi-million dollar lawyer. Right, I'm not a multi-million dollar lawyer. I get it.
At the same time, I get it, right? Like, these lawyers aren't they're supposed to be civil servants, but, like, not if you can help it, right? Like my wife, I asked my wife, I said, right, exactly. He ain't no damn civil servant. I asked my wife, I said, you ever try to do this type of lawyering? And she says, like, no, I don't have the stomach for it. I can't. Like, I am not good at spinning a yarn, because that's what it is. And that's why we're so fascinated by it. That's why it's so incredibly interesting to film, right? Because it's essentially like, yeah, you got to gather all your evidence and stuff like that, but you're not disseminating that evidence. They even show you in the movie. You can't just disseminate evidence to people and try to convince them.
It's boring.
Right? It's boring.
Yeah,
you gotta.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. like what?
Right? You bring out all the subject matter experts all you want, but, like, if they sound like that, the Bueller. If they sound like him, right? Like, nah, yo, that's why dummies are voting for that's why dummies are voting for Donald Trump. Donald Trump don't know what the fuck he's doing. He doesn't. But he's charismatic. Like, that's
he says everything with convictions.
Right. He says everything with conviction. Jay does that shit sometimes too. Jay will be dead wrong about something, or completely ignorant to it, but you wouldn't know because if you say that shit with some bass in your voice, or in your case with some sort of authority, then people will believe.
Okay, let's relax about me. Okay, let's just calm down. Okay. All right.
Oh shit.
That's enough of that. That's just hurtful for no goddamn reason. I didn't do anything to you. You're a real piece of shit. All I was with you right up until that, and then you just got personal, and I don't need that. Like that ain't right. It's funny though. So I respect it. Look, it's that idea of, like you said, the spinning the yarn thing. It is what makes it. It is what makes it good. Look, one of my favorite movies of all time is A Few Good Men. Like, I love those. The fucking scenes in that movie are just so well written. Are they ridiculous? Yes, they're completely ridiculous. Can I turn away? I can't turn away. Like, I love the idea of like having an idea and then bullshitting your way through and then making people believe it. Yeah, that's my whole personality. Like, it's amazing. I live for it. So Hal convinces Willie Gary. He's like, listen, we got O'Keefe is like a good dude. He didn't like the KKK when he was the mayor. We've got this Lowen group that we're going after. I know you don't want to take the case, but the Lowen group is worth like $1 billion or billions of dollars. And immediately Willie Gary's like, oh, did you say $1 billion? Like, oh shit, they were super rich. Oh, I think I can figure this out. Which, he's only doing it now because he thinks, hey, he can, as he said, like, can push the case to the heavens, basically, and get super fucking paid. And so he's like, yeah, all right, I'll take your case. Like, let's get this money. And then we cut to Willie Gary meeting Mike Allred. And he does this thing that I thought was fucking hilarious. He's like, all right, look, Mike, we got to get this out of the way. How you feel about working with black people? And he goes, I am a little bit prejudiced. I'm working on it. I'm sorry. Like, he straight up admits to shit, which I thought was fucking hilarious. But again, look, Alan Ruck's character is a real piece of shit. But Alan Ruck does a pretty good job in this role. I thought he was good as the real dirtbag that he is. And so like he meets the whole team. They're the blackest niggas you've ever met. And so that's Willie Gray's team. They come in and they basically take shit over.
Yeah, they really are. Yo. Like, I hate the stereotype, but like,
these niggas
you niggas ain't lawyers. Yo. you niggas ain't lawyers. Like, the black people that were on Jurnee Smollett's team, like,
they look like
those guys are lawyers.
Yeah, they the lawyer looking niggas, right?
Right. Like, this nigga looked like they picked him up from Corinthians and was like, yeah, you want to be in a movie?
Yo, the dude with the burgundy suit. The nigga in the burgundy suit. Yeah,
yo.
Yo, the one black dude, he got his sunglasses like down right here. Like, yo, you are not a real lawyer, yo. Like, what are you doing there, yo? Are you their bodyguard? Like, yo, why are you there? Yo? Like, it's crazy. Again,
it's offensive.
It is, but like at the same time,
never judge a book by its cover. But these niggas look like you said, they fucking
right. The dude with the glasses looked like not Lakeith Stanfield, right? And the big dude looked like he was at a barbershop, yo. Like, come on, man. Like, you ain't no goddamn.
I just love the fact that like this one black dude is wearing a burgundy on burgundy suit, yo. That's a wild look, yo. It's 1995, yo. It's not 1975. Like, this nigga looks like somebody who would be in a picture with my biological father named Wingo or some shit like that, like back in the day. 100%. Yeah, so they meet Mike, and of course Mike is immediately intimidated by all of these black folks. And look, so then they're like, listen, this is standard case law, and we're gonna settle, and we're gonna get this done. And basically, Willie Gary's like, nah, we're not settling. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're gonna write a letter to Lowen's people and say we want $100 million, and as a fuck you, right? Like, to kind of amp them up. I'm gonna fast forward a bit. Lowen gets the letter, and they do this really weird thing where Lowen's like talking to all of his very, very white lawyers, and he's like, oh, so Willie Gary is black. He's African American. I was like, who are you doing this for? Like, it was the one weird thing. There's two weird things that happened in this movie that I was like, I don't like why those scenes don't make sense to me. And he's like, okay. He's African American. I'm like, yeah, we know. We're the audience. Are you telling us? Like, it's fucking weird. Like, are you telling the white guys in the room? It's just bizarre. Like, they're also aware that he's black.
Well, I think this was them working out the fact that, oh, well, they got a black lawyer. They must have had a black lawyer for a reason. Why don't we get a black lawyer?
Yeah,
I think that's what this is trying to convey.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just a weird bit of dialogue. Like, the dialogue is strange.
There was a couple. There were like one or two scenes where I'm like, this dialogue is like very Sledgehammer-esque.
Yeah.
But then right after he said that, like, En Vogue started playing. I'm like, okay,
like, I'm back. I'm back. So
this was when I was like, when does this take place?
I didn't know they had jets in the 50s. It's crazy. So then we see this one guy run in, and he's like, we found out who's going to be the lead counsel for the other side. And it's so funny. All the guys are like, she, a woman practicing law? It's 1995. Like, why are y'all talking like it's 1925? Like, it's fucking weird.
You almost act like Claire Huxtable doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah, it's 1995, exactly. The most famous black female lawyer of all time. And so they find out that she is not just a woman, but a black woman. She is a sister, as Willie Gary points out. And they talk about like her credentials. She graduated from Harvard, top of her class. Like, and they sort of juxtapose as they're describing her. As she's like walking through the airport looking like a badass in all black, obviously played by Jurnee Smollett, who is very good looking. That does not hurt. Good gracious. So then we get a scene where O'Keefe asked Willie Gary, like, hey, why did you become a lawyer? Like, give me the sort of the background, as they're on the Wings of Justice private jet that he owns. And he just talks about how him and his family, they had tried to upgrade their house, and they were going to go live in this new place. And he was basically embarrassed by the landlord because the landlord saw that he was black and didn't want to rent to him. And so he literally just went home, opened up a phone book, found their local law school, and went there and passed with flying colors, and then came back and sued that place. That was the first thing he did. Because he didn't like being embarrassed and basically treated like garbage because he was black. Look, I love that sort of that fire that black people have for like not being willing to take shit like that and putting
motivation through spite is a wonderful feeling.
No, I have that. I got a lot of that. So I can respect it. I recognize it. It's a good thing. Sometimes you need a little bit of spite to get you motivated. I 100% have no problem with that. But it's a good story to sort of humanize Willie Gary, who I don't feel like is really humanized until that point. I feel like you like him because he's a flashy dude, and you're supposed to like him because of who his character is in the movie. But this is the moment where you actually get to see him be really humanized. I'm going to fast forward a bit in the story. If Amazon would fucking work. There we go. So he's, at this point, the case is going on, and he's met his opponent, played by Jurnee Smollett.
Mamie Dowd.
Mamie Dowd. And, like I mentioned earlier, like, she's not a villain. Like, you actually like her character. You actually, empathize for her perspective and everything else. Like, you respect that she's not some fucking pushover. And I liked their relationship, her relationship to Willie Gary, right? It was this, like, respectful colleagues of sorts. You know, like I dug that. I thought it was a fun way they played those two characters against each other. Because she was like, "Oh, this is as friendly as I'm gonna be. Because once we get in that courtroom, I'll fucking destroy your ass." And he was like, "All right, like bet, like that's what it's supposed to be." So I enjoyed that. I like that they didn't villainize her.
When she came up and was like, "Oh, hey, this is really good. This was a real fun chat," and then leaned in and whispered, "Nigga, I will destroy you." I think it moved, nigga. I think it moved.
Look, there's nothing sexier. There's nothing sexier than a woman who's got confidence. Like
I love a confident woman, boy.
Willie Gary was like, all right, I'm married.
Yeah, like I need to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, no, it's like there's something about that, man. It's like
she literally was like, "Nigga, I will destroy you." That was her exact words. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. Hey, look, I got to tell you. There's nothing better than seeing people who are very like prim and proper, like upfront at work and shit like that. But then you get moments like that, you're like, "You're still black. You still black as shit." Like I fucking love that shit. I love it because that's who we really are, right? Like you got to code switch, you got to do your thing. You know, you're in the legal system, you got to do whatever you got to do, and you got to talk the way you got to talk. But at the end of the day, it's like it's still two black people in a competition with each other. Like, I'll destroy you. Like, don't get it fucking twisted. I love shit like that. It's great. It's really funny. Like my mom was staying with me and my family over the last couple of months. She's back home now, but like she was talking to her like her best friend on the phone, and it's just funny to hear like older black people kind of switch into this shit too, because you forget like. They still niggas as well, like at the end of the day. And they were talking, and he said to her, he was like, yeah, that's he was describing somebody who's like, that's they're like paramour. And she was like, paramour? What is paramour? Like what is a paramour? He was like, it's a French word. And she was like, my mom, without missing a beat, was like, "Nigga, I'm not French." like immediately. I fucking burst out laughing. That shit was so funny to me. But like you just forget like that your parents like, yeah, your parents are niggas too.
I don't forget.
No, like, I've heard stories about your mom. Yeah, it's hard to forget.
Like shit is just funny. Like that's where I got my fucking eloquent profanity.
That's why you do. That's why you the realest. That's why you the realest.
It's a little weird when I hear it like, "All right, Ma, you need to relax," but that's where I got it from.
That's funny. I just found that shit really funny. Nigga, I'm not French.
Like, nigga, I ain't French. I could imagine your mother saying that. And that's
yeah, I hear it. I hear it.
Like 100%.
Right, that shit's 100%. Funny, man.
100%. I fucking burst out of that. That shit was funny. So to Micah's point from earlier, like when you're trying to like weave a case here, like it doesn't work in the legal system as well as people think. Like, here are the facts, and then people go, "Oh, here are the facts. Okay, you fucking got me," because they're like giving all these facts about contract law and all this other shit, and they pan across the jury, and the jury is literally falling asleep. This is me, by the way, on jury duty. Right?
I got a jury duty summons on Monday.
Good. Go serve the public. Make up for my loss.
I think it's like December 21st is when the fucking.
Oh, come on!
Like, what the fuck is this, my nigga? Like, come on, man.
Hope you don't get chosen.
Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I hate white people. Like, I don't even know if he's white.
I heard that don't work anymore.
Nah, yo, that shit don't work. No,
I heard that don't work anymore. It's be like, I'm a racist.
They're like, then go sit your racist ass down in that jury box, nigga. Baltimore City cops are racist. Guess where you going? Right? We need a balance.
Like, niggas ain't shit. Oh, that's not working either. Damn. All right.
I love the police. Like my brothers are. The only thing that really works is like you have somebody who's close to you who's a cop. Like that'll get you out most times. You're like, can you make
that don't exist in my family?
Yeah, well, you're fucked. Fuck. Yeah, they're not gonna buy it. So, this picture. Look, I hate to say this. This ain't right. But the picture of the black dude in the hat on the burgundy on burgundy. suit. Like when you look at the X-ray on Amazon, yo, I'm not buying this guy as a lawyer, yo. He got a gold chain on in his acting image, yo. Like he got like a herringbone chain on. This shit is wild. I'm not buying it. It's all fucking soft lit and shit. That's weird, man. So Willie decides, like, because the case is waning and these people are being bored, he needs to like shake shit up. And he's like, I'm gonna put O'Keefe on the stand. And they're like, that's not a good idea at all. And everybody else is against it. And they're like, look, Hal's like, we don't know her, we don't know Jurnee Smollett's or Mamie's.
Maybe Downs.
We don't know her cross-examination style. Like, she's supposed to be really fucking tough. Like, the last thing you want to do is put your client up there to get fucking wrecked. But Willie Gary is so determined to kind of shake the case up a bit that he puts O'Keefe on the stand. And as we guess, he got his ass lit the fuck up. Because Mamie came through and was like, oh, you know, your integrity is on trial here. Is that what we're doing? And like, you know, you help people against the Klan and all this other shit. And then she's like, yeah, but what about all these, you know, these financial transactions that got you in a bad situation to begin with? Isn't the person you used to work with in jail, nigga? Like, and just fucking destroyed him. And he's just like, he's like a dodding old man. Yeah, so that was not a good idea. And so because he got absolutely embarrassed and destroyed in that, O'Keefe pulls Willie Gary off as lead.
Yeah, he's not the lead. Yeah, and he's like, that wasn't my fault. You ain't tell me that nigga was in jail, dog. He's like, well, you supposed to protect me. He's like, well, you ain't tell me all that shit. He didn't prepare him well enough for fucking cross examination.
Yeah, he did.
But at the same time, it's like, you should have told me all that information before I did that.
Yeah, like
so it was kind of like a 50-50. They fucked each other over a little bit.
Yeah. He was being too secretive, and Willie Gary was being way too too fast. He was just trying to fucking slam dunk the case, which did not work out well for him.
He said he wasn't a criminal when I was working with him. It's like, well,
that's not
doesn't matter now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm making a decision. You are no longer the lead attorney, right? And of course, that really hurts Willie Gary's pride, right? Like, you know, and I actually appreciated that. Like the thing he does when he's not feeling up to himself is he talks to his wife, and like he has to be honest with her, and like she kind of coaches him, like, you got to apologize to O'Keefe, to Jeremiah O'Keefe, like, because you fucked up and all this other shit. And like their relationship is at the core of what like kind of centers him, right? But besides like his religion, which is pretty obvious. So then we see Hal looking into the case a little bit more, kind of digging in. He gets to talk to this woman, Lorraine McGrath, who used to work for a couple of low-end group funeral homes, and she can testify about like how shitty they are and how terrible they became once the low-end group took over. So he's planning on putting her on the stand, and he does. And she's like a pretty good witness, but she's not like cranking out any home runs, right? But like they kind of doing a little small damage to the low-end group. Okay, so from there we see Willie Gary apologize to O'Keefe. He even admits that his wife had to help him with the words because he's not used to apologizing. Whatever day when I eventually am wrong about something, it'll be pretty tough for me to apologize as well.
Nigga.
Just saying, it'll be tough.
Say it with authority, and
nobody believes it. You're not wrong if you don't listen to criticism. That's how I look at it. Just block it out. Then we get a scene that I think everybody they play it very well, which is you see the other side, their team, talking over dinner about how they can't stand Mike Allred, and they're like, hey, what is it about him? What is it? And of course they're all black, and they're like, it's his face, like that good old boy, like white privilege fucking face that he has with that like smirking grin. And I'm like, damn, they are 100% correct. Like this is like they could not be any like more dead on balls accurate. And like it's a perfect moment to humanize the other side too, because every black person is like, look, I get that he's on the side we supposed to like, but fuck that guy specifically. Like, and all the black people on the other side are like, yeah, we don't fuck with him either. And you're like, okay, cool. We're all in agreement. Again, I think it's a really smart way to play all the black people not against each other. I thought that was really, really bright. And then they realized. And then
that scene, yeah, like you, I guess you're about to say, they realize that he's going to be a witness. And they're like, oh. And he's got to take the stand, so she's going to be able to cross-examine him, which I was like, good. Yeah.
It was like,
fuck that guy.
Like, I'm rooting for him. I was in that scene. I was 100% rooting for her. I was like, oh, get him. One of the interns finds some documentation that the National Baptist Church or National Baptist Convention has a deal with the Lowen Group. And so they're like, Hal, did you see this? And he's like, the fuck is this? Like, this is a very weird sort of situation. And so he starts to dig into it a little bit more. Excuse me, the National Baptist Convention. So he deals with it. They then flash back to some more scenes in the courtroom, and of course they deal with Mike being on the stand, and he gets cross-examined by Mamie, and she just fucking rips his goddamn head off. And she's like, well, are you proud of your family? He's like, yeah, of course I'm proud of my family. She's like, wasn't your grandfather in the Klan? And he was just like, oh shit. And they did the fucking Spike Lee fucking zoom in. He was just like, oh shit.
Why are you bringing up old shit?
Like, that wasn't me though. I mean, I love my grandfather. He taught me everything I know, but that wasn't me though. And so, yeah, she fucking like embarrasses him, and points out like his racist ties and everything else. And keep in mind, he's the lead lawyer for the other side at that point. And now he's and every black person in the jury is like, what the fuck? So that does
this shit was hilarious. Like, because we could have won this case without shit, yo. She just wanted to do this shit just because, like, fuck you, yo.
Fuck his face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you and your stupid ass face.
Yeah. I mean, look, I get it.
I love it.
I mean, this is how you know it's a movie. Like, she's not even asking questions, and the judge is like, nah, just go ahead. Like,
and then the judge is black.
The judge is
also like,
black. He's like, hold up now. I want to hear this.
Like, yeah, you have to answer that question, nigga. Do you love your grandfather? Like, what happened? Huh? I'm like, yo, this is not questioning they would allow.
Answer the fucking question, nigga.
Answer, white boy. Your Honor, lady, relax.
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's just like they, of course, playing it up a little bit for a movie. I'm like, yo, this is a lot of questioning that would not be allowed. Like, it makes no sense.
Right, that's what I'm saying, yo. But look, it's all about like white anxiety, right? Like actual white guilt, not this bullshit ass performative white guilt that like, oh, please absolve me because I'm born white. Bitch, nobody gives a fuck if you're born white. Okay, we give a fuck about what you did and what you're doing,
right.
But.
Would you like me to spend money on your safety pin box? Yeah. No.
but this type of like white anxiety, like, because they don't never get that shit, right? Like, I gotta walk in certain areas, and it's like, you know, I'm shifting, I'm looking around and shit, but then that makes me look shifty eyed. So then I gotta stop. But it's like, nah, yo, like, nah. I love this kind of white anxiety from people.
Yeah, no, she fucked his whole week up. Like, she really did, yo. Like, that shit was amazing. Like, with all due respect on her, like, why do I have to answer a question? You need to answer that question. Like, that black judge was like, nah, fuck that. Like, I want to hear that shit. That was great. That was just great. So yeah, after she embarrassed Willie Gary, the other black lawyers in the like behind the scenes, they're like, denounce your grandfather, nigga. Like, yo, they were so mad. Yeah, that shit was hilarious. They were like getting ready. They literally were getting ready to fight Mike Allred in that room. Yo, that shit was hilarious. I found that shit to be funny. And so they all decide, like, you know what? Like, you gonna stay on this case, Willie? We're out. Like, we're heading back to Florida. Like, I'm done. I'm done. I'd rather be in Florida than to be here, which is crazy. Like, that's how bad this case is going.
No, I'd rather be in Florida than Biloxi, Mississippi, yo. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, come on.
I get that. I get that. I know we're gonna get a message from somebody. I'm from Mississippi. Fuck y'all. Like, yeah, I
get out.
I get it. You live in the worst state in the union. That just statistically. Like, I'm sorry. They are treating y'all like shit. And for some reason, Tate Reeves is still your governor, which is fucked up. It turns out
Peter Griffin.
It turns out 9 black districts ran out of ballots all of a sudden during that re-election. Weird. Again, like
okay,
it fucking sucks, and it will continue to get run into the ground, and it's not black people's fault. Quite the contrary. So Mike is like, look, I can't be the lead lawyer on this case anymore. If I show my white face in that courtroom again, all they're gonna see is a hood, and I'm like, they kind of already see it, dog. Like since day one.
Like they're way ahead of you, bro.
Yeah, like, don't worry about it. They've already seen the end of this story. So he decides, like, all right, I'm out. I can't. It's only going to hurt the case if I'm there. So Willie is now, of course, again, the lead lawyer. Basically, him and Hal have to kind of work out, like, how they're going to handle this. O'Keefe kind of wants to settle and just be done and close the case. Hal takes another look at the National Black Convention paperwork and really tries to dig into that. O'Keefe then decides he's going to go see Willie Gray down in Florida and, like, really talk to him and like be like, hey, I'm getting ready to, like, end this lawsuit. And he goes to his house, and Willie's not there, and his wife is there, and she's like, "Oh, he's in Indian Town," which I guess is another small town in Florida, where he grew up. And she's like, "I'll drive you. Like, we family now," which is the most black people shit of all time. Yeah, we're the most friendly people on fucking planet Earth. Like, we just are. I know white people don't think so because y'all watch a rap video or some dumb shit, but we are, yo. We are almost incredibly free. Oh, it is to a fault. No, we're way too far.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, like, it's so funny. We should have so much fucking hate in our hearts for people, and we don't. Like, we just don't. And it's not just because they're Christian. Like, black people we're just forgiving people, yo. Like, we just are. Sometimes I wish I wasn't as forgiving as I am. Like, certain shit I'm not gonna forgive. Like, go fucking put yourself in a ditch as far as I'm concerned. But
and y'all aren't really forgiving. Like,
me?
I'm not. I didn't say I was.
One of y'all really ain't forgiving. And the other is a coin flip.
It's a coin flip.
I don't know which one. I don't know which one is which. To be perfect.
Okay.
You're really losing the title as the realist because you're lying to yourself right now.
Right. One of them is a coin flip, and the other one is a coin flip with a 2-headed coin. All right, the fuck out of it.
That's funny. Absolutely.
I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely depends on the situation. But I like to think of myself as a forgiving person. But I'm not going to forgive, like, certain behaviors. Like, no, absolutely not. Yeah, if you ask me, is it okay to call you colored? That's one I'm going to not forgive. Like, I'm not going to forgive you for that.
That's insane.
No. I couldn't believe it, yo. I couldn't believe it.
No, that's that.
I may have got fired if I was there, yo.
Like, for real.
Like, what the
Excuse
fuck are
me?
you talking about, man? Like, what? I'd be flabbergasted and then like, nigga, what did you just say? Like, I would
He's
have
like,
said
he's like, can I say
something
the N-word?
at work that I couldn't say, and he would have heard me say it. And he didn't like me to begin with, so he probably would have fired me then.
Yeah, that's fair.
Flip his fucking
Sometimes
smart
it's-
car over.
He drove a smart car. That's fucking hilarious. Hey, you bitch.
He wasn't a small guy either. That was weird.
He's
No,
the
he wasn't.
he's the
Clown.
he's the guy from that fucking Simpsons clip. This
Yeah.
is the nicest car that I can afford. Like, what are you laughing at? So he goes to see Willie. Willie is with his mother, like a good son. And this brings me to a scene that that something happens in this movie that I didn't care for. Willie's mom says that he is the sixth child of 11 children. Okay? So she had 11 children. I just want to point that number out. O'Keefe says, yeah, I have 13 of my own. And they're like, oh, well, okay. Then Jamie Foxx's character says, yeah, between the two of you, you got 26. And I was like, that's not what those two numbers add up to. And that really fucking bothered me. Like, it really bothered me. Shut up.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, they got the math wrong. Like, I don't know if Jamie Foxx mistakenly just said 26 and the script says 24. But, like, or like, and they were just like, hey, they're just nailing the scene. And, like, they just didn't notice. But, like, no, that's not what, like, no, sorry. Those numbers are incorrect. This shit really bothered
Yeah, what the
me.
fuck? That's weird.
Yeah, it's a really weird moment. I was like, no, I'm not crazy. Y'all are crazy. So then we see a scene I actually think is quite beautifully shot, which is O'Keefe and Gary standing in the middle of the sugarcane fields that Willie Gary grew up in, and there's like a train passing by in the background, and he's like, "Look, I know you want to drop this case, but I got to tell you, like, I am disappointed because I think we could have made it work, right? Like, and part of it is his ego, part of it he wants to help somebody, but most of it's his ego, right? Because he thinks he could turn it around. Then he gets a call while he's in the middle of having this talk from Hal, who's like, don't let O'Keefe drop the case. I found something. Like, I'm on my way. And, like movie magic, right? And
this nigga called him in 1995 on a cell phone in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. That shit was not going to work.
yeah, that's more,
I was like, no, nigga. That's not, there ain't no cell towers over there. Get the fuck out of here.
that's more
Okay.
egregious than adding
Movie.
11 and 13 and getting 26. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, come on.
This,
So
this whole scene was movie magic.
like,
But all right.
numbers, cell service, impossible. So you come to find out that the National Black Convention is an arm of the Black Church, and what the Lowen Group had done is, and this is true, by the way, this is not made up for the movie. What they had done is they had basically said, like, hey, why don't we help you guys? Like, you guys use the Lowen Group as the place, like, that, Black people will go to get all their funeral services. And meanwhile, we will sort of deputize these pastors and other church folks to help sell, upsell items, caskets and all this other shit through the Lowen Group. So it's like a one-stop shop. And then the Black church will get a cut of the proceeds, right? Which is a really, really despicable thing to do to people in their lowest moment of losing someone.
Yep, that's what he says
Yeah.
in his argument. That's
and
fucking
look,
foul, man.
It's pretty foul, but it just goes to show you, like, this is 1995. White people have no regard for Black people's humanity. None. To treat us like garbage from the time we are born until the time that we die, literally sometimes by your own hands in the most despicable of ways, is one thing. To then try to fuck over the family that's still alive after we die to make a buck is reprehensible. Like, people are dead. And they're just like, yeah, I know, but like, how can we fuck over black people just at the end of this shit? Like, was the 60 to 80 years that they were alive, was that not enough? Like, no, gotta get blood out of the rock, right? And it's a really despicable thing. It's so despicable that I had to look this up. I was like, please tell me that's not how they won this case. Like, surely they just won on like a technicality. No, they really won it based on this. Because that's what the Loan Group was legitimately fucking doing. The movie does not exaggerate it at all. That's exactly what they did. So it really goes to what Micah talked about earlier, which is the movie is not afraid to deal with race when it really needs to, right? It really will pull up and say like, okay, this is the thing that we really need to deal with. And they do. And so they go and they meet with some of the people from the black church. This guy, Ruben, who works with the National Black Convention, he actually shows them this large slave burial plot. It's just like a mass grave. And he was saying that a lot of the like Civil War statues that are put up were put over large slave burials, like literally pushing down one man's history and then, putting another's on top of it, which is, again, a reprehensible fucking thing to do. Look, a lot is talked about like Indian burial grounds, but like slave burial grounds existed too. And they're right, like equally as fucked up because they're just mass graves because they just didn't give a fuck about black people at all. From the time we were born until the time literally after we die, which is just unbelievable in a lot of ways. It really is.
It's always interesting to hear politicians because the Republican National Convention is not the Republican. They're doing a debate, their second or third debate. And it's always interesting hearing any kind of politician talk about like, that's not the values that this country was built on. This country was built on helping people and this. And I'm like, y'all niggas is a bunch of lying ass motherfuckers. Even the niggas over there, like, goddamn well that's not what it's about, but you have to say that shit to make people feel good when it's almost the complete opposite of what this country was built on.
Not almost. 100%.
It's the opposite. Yeah, it's the opposite. But
it was designed
they don't want to teach that history.
Right. It was literally a country designed to take advantage of slave labor. Full fucking stop, dude. Full stop. White people came here like, I really want to just do what I want to do religiously. And then they got here and they were like, hey, by the way, we're going to use our religion to justify slavery. And people were like, that makes sense.
That's fine.
That's fine. And then they did that.
There was some people that were like, nah, this ain't cool. But like, I got this land. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with it.
Somebody got to be out here tilling. It ain't going to be me. It's way too fucking hot. Yeah. But it's amazing. Like that idea that like you hear it from Republicans, but you also hear from Democrats too. Like, that's not the story of America. Yes, the fuck it is.
Yes, it is. Like, when Barack Obama used to say that shit, it used to piss me off. I'm like, nigga, come on, bro. You can't say it because you're the president, but like, come on, man. Just don't say anything.
I mean, that is definitely why he leaned into the like, the more of the like the betterment of America. Like, let us try to reach that dream that we had. Because like you can't stand too hard on the like the real America is like, no, we know what the real America is. Like
he was always talking about like our better angels. Not that many of them, but okay.
Which one?
All right, nigga. Like, which shoulder?
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, as a black man, he literally can't stand on that shit. Like you just can't. Because it sounds ridiculous. And it is ridiculous. Like it just is. So it's like I'm always amazed when people say like racism is over or like some fucking nonsensical version of that. And it's like racism is over.
Like, what country?
These niggas were trying to screw black people in 1995 and would have kept doing it if they were not exposed. Like, let's see if we can get some more money from a burial plot. Like, and if you think that shit doesn't still happen, you're crazy, by the way. You're crazy. Like, absolutely. It does. So yeah, it's kind of amazing that this should not only happen but continues to go on. So then we see like Willie Gary gets one of the Lowen Group's people on the stand, and he's like, "So how much money did you guys pay the NBC, the National Black Convention? Did you pay them to do these like build up the Lowen Group to these black families as they're losing?"
Well, he said how much he said how much did you stand to make?
Yeah, 1.2 billion.
You asked him how much? Yeah, $1.2 billion. He's like 1.2 million. It's like no billion. He's like, huh?
I thought you said
what the fuck?
Right. And by the way, that's a good legal rhetorical flourish, right? Million? No, it's a billion. Oh, billion with a B. Oh, that's wild. Y'all heard that, right? $1 billion. Like, yeah, nigga, he heard you. Like, knock it off. But it's a slick move. And look, I enjoyed the pettiness of that. That's the type of shit I like to see. Yeah, so they stood to make $1.2 billion off the backs of dying black people. And they gave a donation to the National Black Convention, $200,000. That's it. Not $1 million, not $200 million, but $200,000. Like, we don't fucking matter, yo. Like, we don't fucking matter. That's insulting. It's insulting. So
that's crazy. Right?
And look,
like, I think we gave a donation of about $200,000. It's like, wait, what? You lost there. That you lost.
Yeah, you lost the case at that moment.
You lost that case. That's why they had to bring Homeboy in, and he just made it worse.
Yeah, he really did. And so, yeah, they fucked up. That guy, he really fucked up. And so they brought in Raymond Len himself, and he's like, look, yeah, I don't really give a fuck about none of y'all. Like his testimony was basically like, bam, 2 guns, nigga. Like, right. Give a fuck, like right here. Like I'm rich.
His testimony was the most rich ass white man thing ever. It was just like, did you care? No. What?
Like, not really. Not really. Not at all.
Not at all.
Like, he just really didn't give a fuck. But I loved the move that Willie Gray does, which is like, how much is your boat? Right? Like, just to show you how out of touch this motherfucker is, this nigga's got a boat with a helipad on it for landing helicopters, and he don't even know how much he paid for it. And I love the guys like, well, how much is your plane? He's like, we're not talking about my plane. I can tell you exactly how much I paid for my plane. Right. Because I was a poor black man and ain't no receipts getting fucking past me. Get the fuck out of here.
I got a closet full of receipts, nigga. I can pull them shits out now. The fuck out of here.
Like, no, we can talk about my plane, but let's talk about your boat. And that was that's a great rhetorical flourish to let people know just how much his money, it don't even fucking matter to him. Like, that's how much money he has. So when you are ready to get in this motherfucker's wallet to pay this person out for the people he fucked over, don't feel bad, because that nigga's not even gonna miss the money that you're
like,
gonna,
right. Don't forget that he didn't know how much his $25 million boat cost. it's like this dope as shit, man. It's like, yeah. Well, you're fucked.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he calls him out on the boat, and he fucking tears his ass up over it. And Lowen is just like, I'm a white rich man. I don't have to sit down for this.
Like, what the fuck? All right. All right. I'm going to head out. Okay. I'm going to head out.
It's like, yo, where are you going? And I love that. He's like, sit down. Sit your ass down. I was like, all right, Jamie Foxx, you stop acting. You're like, that's you. Like, he literally said, I've had quite enough of this, and just got up from the witness stand as if that shit is an option, which is a crazy moment. And he's like, the judge is like, all right, Jamie Foxx, cut, nigga. Like,
chill, bro.
Like, you can't say sit your ass down in the court of law. That's a wild move.
Why can't
the judge? Yeah, you can't curse.
Well,
why not?
It's up to the judge's discretion. It's up to the judge's discretion whether you can use that type of language.
Isn't like a decorum issue?
Like we're adults.
Yeah, it's basically, you know,
it's about decorum. I understand, but that's
whatever. But
I mean, fuck out of here with that. But I told y'all, like when I was at that one court case and then that lawyer that was in a case before us, the judge said something. He was like, "Bet" or some shit like that. Like judge was like, "What?" I was like, "Yo, you're way too young to be a lawyer. Yo, you can't say shit like that."
Shit. Again, I don't understand why, man. I mean, bet like you like bet. Like, what did you say to me? I don't understand that slang, but just like regular profanity that everybody knows. I don't understand why we're such a. I don't know. That's weird.
Sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down.
That show was great.
It's like order in the court. Come on, you can't say that. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but you can't say that.
Yeah, like I agree with you fundamentally. So yeah, Lowen, like he leans over to Lowen and he was like, "Did you even care?" And Lowen's like, "No. Going back to Canada. I don't give a fuck about this."
He did that fucking Dexter's Laboratory meme and shit, or that Bugs Bunny meme. It was just like, no.
Yo, that's a wild. First of all, that's an insane thing to do on the stand. Like, you got a whole fucking a jury over there looking at you as you saying, "I don't give a fuck about you niggas."
Like, we don't give a fuck about you either.
It's like, I feel like he probably realized he lost, and it was like, I'm going to have to kick out some money, but he didn't realize he was going to kick out as much money as he didn't know the jury was going to kick him in his ass as hard as they did.
Yep. So,
$1 million.
I love that. I love that. Like right after that, after he confidently walks off the stand, like the very next scene, you see a chair get thrown, and he's like, "I got fucking destroyed out there!" Like he was so fucking mad. You know how much I sacrificed, and so he's pissed off, and they want to settle, right? And Mamie Downs and Willie Gray, they meet in the hallway, and she's like, "All right, like we want to negotiate or whatever." He's like, "Yeah, bring your best negotiator. Like we gonna kick your ass in that room, right?" And so she was like, "All right." And so they have this meeting. They slide a piece of paper over. O'Keefe is like, "Nah, don't think so." And they do it again, and he looks at his wife. His wife smiles and was like, Yeah. And he was like, "No, get out of here." And Lowen is like, "How does it feel to be a guy who rejected $75 million? I'd be real hard pressed to like say no to that. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, 75 million is a lot of money, yo. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Like, what's the lawyer's fee? 10%? 20%?
What is a lawyer's fee? How much does Willie Gary stand to get from this settlement?
I don't know.
It's got to be 10 or 20%.
That's a lot of fucking money. This nigga said $100 million in the beginning. They were like, "You are wilding." Like, come on, man. But it's $1 billion company, so
yeah, that's crazy to me. But yeah, get your money.
There is no average settlement, as each case is unique. Whatever the amount is, your law firm will charge you a contingency fee basis. This means that they will take a set percentage of your recovery, typically 1/3 or 33.3%.
God damn.
So I found a website that says 33.3% of any recovery up to $1 million, 30% of any portion between $1 and $2 million, and 20% of any portion exceeding $2 million. So,
okay, that's $20 million.
I mean, it ain't bad, dog. That ain't
bad. To win a case, dog.
$20 million is not bad. Like, just sign that check right over to me. God damn, that's a lot of money. But even still, you're doing fine. Like even losing that $20 million, you're doing fine. You're doing perfectly fine. Like you ain't sad at all. So he rejects the $75 million, which is that's a lot. And Lowen is like, this is unbelievable. What the hell's your problem? Like, you're a fucking moron. Like, that's not enough money for you. And look, I got to admit, the way Tommy Lee Jones delivered this line is pretty goddamn good. I was like, he still got it. He was like, no, I'm afraid it's not enough money for you. Like, I'm trying to run your ass out of fucking business. Like, I'll be fine. So I appreciated that. Like, that was a dope line. And so, look, every man needs if he's got a lady or significant other, you gotta get your significant other to pump your head up before a big day. And apparently that's what Willie Gray and his wife do. She came down to see him. I'd have been tired the next day. I'm just saying, but anyway, not to be an asshole about it. But yeah, she believes in him. Like she stands by him and all that, which is dope. Like she is a black woman that is believes in her man. And this is what happens when you go to a Cheesecake Factory with a dude on the first date. You two could have a relationship like this, or a $28 date, depending. You just got to believe. You just got to believe. Just believe in it, nigga. That's all you got to do. So she, she's with him through the end of the court case. What they do, which I think is very clever, is they do not do the closing arguments, because I think you may feel like if you watch the closing arguments that maybe the settlement isn't justified or that the other side might make a better argument, but they leave it on the part of, this guy didn't give a fuck about black people. This guy didn't know how much his boat cost. This guy was a real scumbag. He didn't care how much he hurt people. He insults O'Keefe when they're having the negotiation. They leave it at him just being a dirtbag, and they give no space for any like level of like character recovery or like, well, maybe the Lone Group wasn't wrong. They don't give you none of that shit. They're like, you see the villain? He's a piece of shit. He just like punched that kid in the face. Cut to the end. Like that's it. And which I think is a smart move. And so he like they start out with the opening of his final statements and his closing argument that says, "Do you mind if I just keep it plain and simple?" Right? And so that's just like the simple talk way that he is, the way that he runs his cases, and so that's how he ends up winning. And they end up winning $400 million, which is fucking crazy. Like he wins $100 million for just his lawsuit, and he wins an additional $400 million on top of that, which is crazy.
That's ridiculous shit.
It actually is ridiculous.
Like that's fucking like, what are you doing, yo? What are you doing?
Like, what's his name? Alex Jones get sued for like $1 billion or some shit like that?
Yeah, he did. He lost it. He has to pay $1 billion.
It's like
now
that's a lot of fucking money, man.
Well, in fairness, it's a lot of money, but that was like across a number of people, right? Like everybody got like $200 million or whatever. So some shit like that. So that's why I'd add it up. But yeah, fuck that guy. And by the way, that asshole's not allowed to like file for bankruptcy to get out of it. They're like, no, sell your ass. Fuck you.
Good.
Like, good. Run that idiot out of business. So after appealing the verdict, the Lowen Group eventually agreed to a $175 million settlement offer. 2 years later, Ray Lowen was forced to resign as president and CEO of his own company. Less than a year after that, the Lowen Group filed for bankruptcy and was destroyed. So they didn't get the $500 million. They got $175 million, but it was enough to destroy everybody's reputation and kill the company. So, yeah, they ultimately.
Hey, that's what he wanted.
Yep, it was enough. Yeah. That was enough money for him. So, and O'Keefe, after the trial, Jerry and Annette created a charitable foundation to benefit the socially disadvantaged. More than 40% of O'Keefe's foundation grants have gone to Black American community groups, churches, and schools. So, yeah, they took the money and did some good with it. Bradford O'Keefe Funeral Homes continue to thrive as the largest family-owned funeral business in southern Mississippi. So there you go. So,
good. Yeah, solid movie, man. Solid movie. Yeah. Just it's an easy watch. It was just a, you know, it's one of those like feel good movies, and I haven't seen like a real good feel good movie in a long time. Yeah. Very satisfied with, and this movie has a mid credit scene, which is fucking weird.
Thanos shows
like, yeah, like just sort of just, you know, I understand you want to put the man in the movie, right? But like just do it in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why it needs to be a secret ending. I didn't know that until the second time I watched it because I was reading on Wikipedia. They're like, he's in the movie. I was like, when? What are you talking about? They're like, it's a mid credit scene.
They pulled a Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
That movie.
Happy to see you, dog. Like, hi.
Yeah, it's a Willie Gray didn't look dead in the camera like the Pursuit of Happiness man. Like, the Pursuit of Happiness man was like, I found it. I was like, all right, nigga, goddamn.
This is why you work in finance and not in Hollywood. Right. Yeah, but I think this is a solid movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm very happy to see Jamie Foxx is continuing to do what he does best, which is be an everyman in Hollywood. So he can do it all. So it's very cool to see. And that's not bad for a clone, I have to say. Pretty good. People are idiots. All right, that is it for us. Any other parting words before we get out of here?
No. We're good.
All right, guys. We will see you guys next time.
Take it easy.
Bye.
See ya.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of Black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the Black community.